let's go ahead to the ninth question. That is exactly defining what a Buddha is. No, the ninth question in our 71 topics. The ninth topic is what is a Buddha. Explain the term Buddha and Tathagata. You see, I will give a short answer and then maybe a more detailed answer if I am able. So the Buddha means in Sanskrit the awakened one. No, that's what the word Buddha means. Awakened one. Yes, is awakened. And it's referring to the fact that we in samsara is like a dream, you know, as I mentioned in our previous presentations. Samsara is described in many sutras as a dream, as something not real, it's an illusion. And those who have awakened from this delusion of the six realms are the Buddhas. You see, that's what the word Buddha means. And Tathagata is Tata and Agata. Means thusness. Yes, it means the being who has come from thusness, or that means supreme reality, and the one that after death goes back to that supreme reality. You see, so Tathagata means the one or the being who comes from and goes to thusness. You know? So thusness is a technical term that means ultimate reality, or Dharmakaya. You see, something that is beyond names and forms. So remember that the ultimate body of the Buddhas is the Dharmakaya, or the Supreme Dharmakaya, and the word Tathagata is a composed word, yes, that means he who comes from thusness and who returns to thusness. Okay, Tathagata. It's another word for Buddha. So Buddha and Tathagata are referring to the same type of being, an enlightened being. No? Regard to this, there is a sutra, there's the Dona Sutra. Yes, I have here on my notes, so I will share it with you. So someone, a Brahmin called Dona, found the Buddha, and he was very puzzled. He didn't know what to make of the Buddha. So who is he? Is he an angel? Is he I don't know, a superhero, whatever? He didn't know what to make of the Buddha. And he asked him, say, are you, he said, are you a deva? Are you a god? And then Shakyamuni said, no, Brahman, I am not a deva. Are you a Gandharva? He said, no, I am not a Gandharva or a spirit. No? Are you a Yaka? It's another kind of a spirit or deva. Are you a Yaka? No, I am not a Yaka. Are you a human being? He said, no, I am not a human being. You know? And this is very important, you know, because many people nowadays think that the Buddha was a human being, including many Buddhists, so-called Buddhists. They think that the Buddha was a random prince in India who devised or invented a very whimsical or sophisticated philosophy. This is not, at least this is not the way that the Buddha described himself. You see here in this sutra that he was asked, are you a god? No. Are you a human? No, no, I am not a human. So this is very important for us to consider. The Buddha didn't consider himself to be a human being. And then Dona recapitulated and he summarized. Okay, so when I ask you if you're a deva, you answered, no, I am not a deva. When I ask you you're a Gandharva, you said you are not a Gandharva. When I ask you if you are a human being, you said that you are not a human being. So what are you? What sort of being are you? Yes. And then the Buddha answered, Brahman, the fermentations by which, if they were not abandoned, I would be a deva, those are abandoned by me. Fermentations means like poison, mental poison. No? The root is destroyed, made like a palmyra stump, made like garbage, deprived of the conditions of development, not destined for future arising. No? The fermentations by which, if they were not abandoned, I would be a Gandharva, a Jaka, or a human being, those have been abandoned by me. The root of these poisons, the root destroyed, made like a palmyra stump. A palmyra is like some type of tree, yes, of palm tree that is on the street, no, or on the ground, like a palmyra stump, deprived of the conditions of development, not destined for future arising. So what this passage means is that Shakyamuni Buddha is answering is that all of those states of being samsara, yes, have mental poisons of this as their condition. In the case of a hell being, it is cruelty and hate. In the case of a preta, is the greed. In the case of an animal, is the instincts and ignorance. In the case of a god, is the belief in this ego and the pride. and the addiction to several pleasurable mental states. In the case of a human being, is all of the combination of the poisons. So the Buddha has overcome all of these poisons, so he's above, yes, the heavenly human worlds and all of samsara altogether. And then Shakyamuni Buddha says in a very beautiful words, I must say, it says, just like a red, blue, or white lotus born in the water, grown in the water, rising up above the water, stands unsmeared, yes, by the water. In the same way, I am born in the world, grown in the world, having overcome the world. And I've lived unsmeared, that is, lived unaffected by the world. Remember me, O Brahman, as awakened, the Buddha. You see? So this is the Dona Sutra. And here Shakyamuni Buddha is describing himself the way he is, no? As a being that used to be a samsaric being, because remember that Buddhas, once they were in the six realms of existence, and this includes also Amida Buddha, includes all the Buddha in the 10 directions. Yes, the Buddhas are not like gods. Yes, they were once imperfect beings, but through the practice of the Buddha Dharma, they were able to transcend samsara altogether and become awakened ones. Yes. Okay, so this is the answer. Do you have something to add before I go to the next one?
No, we have. If you guys go and read my book on emptiness, simple teachings on emptiness and Buddha nature, you'll see there are chapters there and many passages about the qualities of the Buddha. No, many I describe with quotes from various sources. Lots of enlightened qualities that a Buddha possess, you know, and which definitely are not the qualities of limited human beings. That's very important. Sometimes a modernist or so-called progressive Buddhist try to present the Buddha, or secular Buddhist, of course, they try to present the Buddha as a human being because they think that in this way people don't look to Shakyamuni Buddha as to a god. You know, they try to prevent people from thinking that that Buddha is some kind of a god figure. But actually, as Kosho presenting, as Buddha is not a god and not a human being. He's more than gods and human beings. He's the supreme teacher of all gods and human beings, you know, of all beings. And Shakyamuni Buddha says also in the Lotus Sutra that he regards all beings as his own children, and that he alone is the one who can save them. I have many passages also on Amidaji website about this, and in the books also. So please study those books because they contain lots of passages. Okay. And okay.
Yes, thank you,
so,
Sensei. Yes.
If you want to go to, please, Joshin or Hozan, if you want to add something, please do. Okay.
I can continue now. Yes, you can study also the books of Yosho Sensei, the simple teachings on Amida, simple teachings on emptiness and Buddha nature, and also the book, the true teaching on Amida Buddha and his pure land, and clearly defines who a Buddha is and what is the difference between a Buddha and the heavenly realms and the gods.